Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. And one thing you can say, you cannot say about me, you just cannot say it about me, is that Mark Holmes don't work. Because I works my hind parts off. I ain't lying. I work hard. We've been over working on a bathroom where we've been gutting it out today. I actually did a video from there because we're remodeling it. We're taking out an old cast iron bathtub and we're putting in a shower and we're updating it. This bathroom was built in the 50s. Which I gotta tell you, if you've never worked on a bathroom that's built in the 50s, you literally could use it as a bomb shelter. I'm not kidding you. They use cement. You know how we use cement board when we build bathrooms and things now? Half-inch cement board. Yeah, we think that that's really good. It's opposed to drywall. They put lath up and then put like a half-inch of cement into it. Okay, then they put another layer of cement on it, so you got about 1.25 inch thick cement with metal reinforcing lath. That's old concrete, not this newfangled lightweight concrete. That shit is built for bear. So we've been ripping that stuff out and just broke my truck in because put 1,500 pounds. Listen, 1,500 pounds. And we're not finished getting all of the stuff out. 1,500 pounds worth of tile and cement off of that one bathroom. So I'm back now because we're working on building this custom planter out of mahogany. Look at that. That is now a 20-inch by 8-foot wide, 1.1 inch thick mahogany panel. And this is the side of the plant box. This is the second side. So I got to make the ends, which are going to be 3 foot wide. So I'm going to glue that up after I plane it. And you talk about heavy, damn. So, as we hope and pray that we have an NFL season this year, we've got some news. Yesterday, the NFL floated an idea to the NFLPA. They said, hey, NFLPA, why don't you let us hold a little something here? Why don't we keep 35% of your pay in escrow? In case we don't have a season, we got a little extra cash in case we need it. Now, in case when you hear 35% doesn't sound like that much, right? But let me actually tell you exactly what 35% is. 35% of the player's income is $2.24 billion. I got a question on this. I think about the Dallas Cowboys. I think about the Redskins, the team formerly known as that are worth billions of dollars, right? That most of the teams actually have the communities that help pay for the stadiums. So I'm curious why it is the NFL deems that they need to hold on to that salary. I mean, we're talking about people with means, with lots of money, that should be able to weather a financial storm. See, I know for me personally, for going through the COVID virus and stuff, that I don't have the means and the banking to be able to go ahead and say, oh, okay, if I don't make any money, then I'll just go ahead and live off of what I got. It don't work that way for me. But I think that the NFL and the NFL teams should be able to make it if there's reduced revenue. I think that's a possibility because, when I think about the Cowboys being the most valuable franchise in the world, The Redskins are worth like, what, $3 billion? And even with that dump for a stadium that's not even theirs, that's PG County, you know? Prince George's County owns, that they should be able to be okay with not stiffing it to the players. Now, the NFL and the NFLPA are also working on an opt-out clause for players, because some players may say, you know what, it's going to be too much for me to be able to play football. I may have, a wife or kids that would be at risk, and me doing football during this crisis may be me putting their lives at risk, or my parents, or other things like that. And as I think about what they're asking basketball players to do, basketball players, you're going to go live in a bubble. I wonder, after about 3 or 4 weeks or so of being in the bubble with just the basketball guys, how stir crazy some are going to be. Because see, this is kind of like what you're asking them to do is do what the submarine service would do. We're living in a bubble, underwater, a submarine for 6 months. It's just us. It's just us. We're not surfacing. We're not seeing the sun. We're not communicating with others. We're out to sea. And that's kind of what they're asking players to do, in essence, more so with basketball and baseball, because they're kind of in a bubble and things. Football, haven't gotten that far. But now, so the NFL and the NFLPA are discussing opt-out clauses. Now, here's the thing that I was sitting here thinking about, and my wife actually really popped it into my head too. The reason why you have an opt-out clause is it's like a waiver. It's like a waiver. Because I was saying, because the thing is the Ivy League is supposed to announce whether or not they're going to have a fall season or not. So, talking about Harvard, Yale, and you're like, okay, I don't watch Harvard and Yale and things like that. But see, here's the thing. When you think about Harvard and Yale, we're talking about smart people, the highest education schools in the world, or the country, and possibly the world. And so if they look and they say, it's dangerous to play sports right now, we're not going to. What that does is it puts pressure on the other schools, because now you're actually possibly opened up to lawsuits. Because let's say hypothetically, a player gets COVID virus and he dies. You have other schools saying, we're not going to play because we think that there's a chance that people could really get sick. I'll call you right back there. So that's where you look at the NFL and the NFLPA putting out and saying there's an opt-out clause, because now if you get sick and it ends up being that it hurts somebody else or yourself, you had the option of understanding that this is a possibility of something that can happen. You decided not to opt out. You decided you wanted to play. So this is plausible deniability. So that's going to be an interesting take on it. And we're sitting here 20 days. 20 days. Training camps are supposed to open up. That's not very far away. We're talking about less than 3 weeks. And see, here's the final thought on this whole thing is, with college football, the thought is that Ivy League probably is not going to have a fall season. The NCAA is actually thinking about the possibility of doing a spring season. They're not crazy about this idea, because now you're talking about being in the middle of flu season, starting out practicing and everything else in March. So there's no guarantee that you'll be able to do it then. Then you've got, of course, the NFL that's looking to have their draft and stuff. So now you're talking about players that might be looking and saying, I'm going to be drafted by the NFL. I don't want to play the spring season. I don't want to risk getting hurt and not being ready to play in the NFL. So there's all kinds of problems and issues with doing that as well. But here's the thing. They're figuring that the big schools, Southeast conferences and things like that, that they're going to want to play. But if you're a team that's up in, say, Massachusetts, where coronavirus isn't real bad, and you got to go play like in Texas, where right now, one of the hot spots, do you want to take your whole team, your coaching staff, which may be older people and all that, and take them into a hot spot to play a game against people who have been living in a hot spot? you might not want to. So there's a whole lot of moving parts and everything that are in here, and more than I can ever figure out. But I'm just trying to pass that knowledge on to you guys with what's going on. So the NFL and the NFLPA are trying to figure out how they're going to make money, how they're going to keep people safe, and how they're going to make sure they don't get sued. And that's where we are. All right, I'll see you guys later.